All right, now I'm gonna try a hydraulic dump bed. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. How did I miss that? I should have put these nuts in a nut sack so I didn't lose them. Yeah! Yeah! That's right, baby. We're back on the spicy dump. Sorry I called you baby, that was out of line. Son of a... This thing is hard to move. Oh yeah, there we go. Come on. Alright, now I gotta move the Bull Equipment mini excavator. Quick cleanup here with the new Viver floor sweeper. Everyone loves a good sponsor. This was a huge deal for the channel. Like $128 value. Pretty much gonna pay for the addition on the shop. This thing is all self-propelled, so as you push it, the front little brushes will spin and pull all the debris inward. You just lift up on this thing, and there's all your junk. Lots of disgusting stuff. There you go. I did not realize how much dog hair was on the shop floor because I have Dozer come out here with me quite a bit. Picks up a lot of big chunks of dirt and stuff too. I was quite surprised, but I'll leave links for that thing down in the description. Pretty cheap, doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Might be a nice little gift for daddy or mommy. Don't hit my spicy dump. Alright, I want to get this sucker. When that motor shuts off, it's like really abrupt. It just, but it's got oil in it, it's all good. Well, I left you guys on a bit of a cliffhanger the last video you saw on the Japanese mini dump. Lots of good suggestions on the name for this thing. I let the girls decide, and they both really like spicy dump. We can all relate to that. I know I sure can. So I left you on that cliffhanger, and what actually happened was, I forgot my keystone was on the back of the dump bed here. I was pretty upset about it. I quickly got over it when I got a new one, so all good. Today, the goal is to get this thing driving on its own. You saw in that last video, we got the Harbor Freight Predator engine fired up. The hydraulics worked. I was able to dump the bed. Everything worked really nice. I do have a little bit of rubbing on the belt here, so I just need to adjust this guard. That is going to be really easy. Otherwise, all the belts stayed nice and aligned. A lot of people commented saying that I need to make a cover for these belts, and there is a cover for them. It's just not on there yet. So that will all be closed off and safe to operate. Obviously, that's kind of dangerous. Come on. What are we doing here? The first step to getting this closer to being up and running is this piece right here. It's got the emergency brake on it. This is where the shift lever comes through. We're gonna have to rebuild this. Probably won't be able to find one of these on Amazon, so I'm going to make it. I need to cut off the old seat bracket. Hopefully there's not a lot of rust underneath it. We will see. And that piece right there bridges between this fender and that fender. That is where the seat will go. That is why I need that, so I can put the seat on there and actually get in this thing and drive it. The other thing I need to do is install the gas pedal. You can see I have removed it. It was kind of janky. You can see there's a hole there, another one there, and a broken off bolt right there. So I need to kind of redo this and fix up that little gas pedal and get the throttle linkage ran and connected to the engine. Now, for the time being, I can start this manually. I can choke it manually. I can stop it manually. All that is right over here with this button, except for the choke. But what I couldn't do manually was run the throttle. I need to be able to have that gas pedal so I can use it in conjunction with the clutch and actually drive this thing. And a lot of people asked me or suggested that I put an electric start on this thing. It already has one on this Predator engine. So it's already ready to go with electric start. Once I build out this front end, I'll be installing the battery, putting a key switch in. Those will be projects a little further down the road as we get this thing up and running and working out any other kinks that it might have. I know, just a little more talking. I just want to make sure that we're all up to date here on the project. I just posted a video. I finally got the Boss plasma table up and running. This thing is freaking unbelievable. I'm so excited to have this thing up and running. This is going to change everything in my little fab shop here. And what it's also going to do is contribute to a lot of cool upgrades on the Japanese dumper. One of them being the new front clip that I'm going to design and build. We're gonna have a light bar in it. We're gonna have a vented area for airflow for the engine. There's gonna be a nice little dashboard in there, maybe a winch, I don't know. So that's the latest and greatest with the spicy dump. Let's get to work. Been a while. Anchor Lube sent me some lube because they know how much I love lube. This is really, really, really good stuff. I'm sure most of you have heard of it, but I just wanted to make mention. It was nice of them to send me out a little care package. Yes, I do have hair. First thing I'm gonna do, strip this thing down, and I've already seen some things that are probably gonna need some attention. I think since everyone is enjoying this little build series so much, I'm gonna make this video a little bit longer. I have no idea how long, because I just started it, but I'm sure by this point, you all know, because it's the time down there. Earplugs. My ears have been permanently ringing, and I don't like it. Oh, there's spot welds too? Kidding me? Piece of crap. Just when you think you got it all figured out. You know, I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm half tempted to just completely rebuild it. I just got the new Boss plasma table up and running. What I should do is cut this out of like 12 gauge, way heavier duty, and just freaking redo the whole thing. Because this thing is kind of a piece of shit. I got one break there, some goofy little thing there I could care less about. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? If I did that, what would be less work? Oh, this thing's a piece of crap. Should I do it at a 14? It, I'm gonna rebuild it. That's still good. I'm gonna fire the hog up here, and I'm gonna do some design work on flash cut. We'll get this thing cut out. All right, the design is done. Here is my piece right here with all of the appropriate cuts, and then I have this extra little piece that I made. You'll see what that's for. It's going to be for the new shifter boot. So here's something cool that I did. In order to make this little compression plate right here, that's gonna fit right over this. All the holes are gonna line up. That's gonna be for the leather boot that I'm gonna make to replace that little shifter design there. All I did was highlight this inner square, come up to my modify tools and hit offset. And you can see it gave me this ring around the outside. And I chose to offset that to 1.25 inches. Then I just hit return. I could take this, hit Control C to copy it, and then come over here and hit Control V, and you can see there it is. And that's how I created that part. Delete that. And then I just came back here, deleted these lines right here. All right, I'm gonna get the table set up real quick. Air compressor is gonna kick on. Turn the air on for my scribe, which you're gonna see right there. When I turn it on, it's gonna go up. There we go. So we are actually going to be using the scribe on this design. On the original piece here, you can see there's a break in the steel right here and right there. So I'm going to scribe little dashes on each side where I need to make those breaks instead of having to measure it like I used to. So that scribe is really going to come in handy on this project and future projects. Plus this would allow me to like actually scribe a design into the steel or like a part number. So I've got some ideas for that thing. All right, now I'm going to hit the water height control, fill this sucker up with water. It takes about, I don't know, 15 seconds. It's pretty cool. Just like that, we have a full water table. All right, this is the crappy part. Like I talked about in the last video I just posted on the Boss table, I'm gonna be designing and building some under table storage for all my 4x8 sheets because this just doesn't work. It is a pain. Ooh, yeah, that is a nice sheet. Freaking hate doing this. Now I gotta try to turn the camera. What am I hitting? Oh, nothing. Oh. All right. With those rollers. Holy shit, that sucks. Listen, I think the under table storage needs to come sooner than later because that sucks. Thinking maybe like some kind of a jib crane, maybe in the middle. I could swing over, grab a sheet, slide it out, grab it with the jib crane, lift it up with the magnet, set it down. For larger parts, I can grab it, spin the jib crane around, maybe set it on a fab table. All right, now what I'm gonna do is get the torch head about 1/4 inch in from both sides here and zero the program. So that'll tell us that is the bottom left corner of the sheet, and it should cut that piece right here in this bottom left corner. All I have to do is hit the start button and it should run that metal scribe first. There's 4 little dashes that it has to make. I'm really curious, it's my first time using it, so we'll see how that works. All right, that went perfect. I just need to mess with the speed settings a little bit and the cut distance. I got a very, very slight bevel. Let's see how it looks with the old one. Everything looks good, actually, really good. Another little scribe right there. So I'll use those for my break points when I throw it in the cake pan brake over there. So I don't have to sit there and measure all that out. It's already marked in the design. All right, before I put that new piece in the metal brake, I want to find the center of the bend when I make a bend with this 14 gauge. So I got a little scrap piece right here and I scribed a couple of marks. That is where I'm gonna place the edge of the brake on. And then as I bend it up to a 90, I'm going to find center and see what that distance is so I know how far to measure off of my initial marks. I know it's kind of confusing. It's actually very similar to what we do when bending conduit. There's like a take up, center your bend. That's basically what I want to try to find here with the brake. First, I'm going to do a 90. This might be hard to see. There's a scribe mark right here. The scribe where I locked in the brake at is on the upper section of the radius. So it's really, really close. Man, it's so close. We're talking like a 32nd of an inch for a 90. It's a pretty tight radius on there too. I'm gonna try to match the other one. It's like, maybe like that. Holy shit. That was literally spot on. That was a total guess. Couldn't do that again if I tried. 32nd of an inch. It's pretty damn close. I'll take it. Of course, the AC shuts off. Let's give this a rip. Oh, shit. What the hell? Okay. All right. There is one bend. All right, screw it. Let's go for the other one. Damn it. What's going on there? Why does it keep popping out? I think that's got it. Did I overbend that? No, that looks pretty damn good. Yeah, it's right there. Best way to see if it fits is just put it on the damn thing. A couple of my holes might have missed, but that's okay. All right, this is actually looking really good. I want to say it took me about an hour and 20 minutes to do the design on Flash Cut, which that's my second time using it, so I'm still learning. Obviously, I'm gonna get faster. Cutting this out took about, I don't know, 10 minutes. Right now, I'm probably at about 2 hours to get it to this point right here. I would have easily been into that other piece beyond 2 hours to get it in this condition. And this is a thicker piece of steel too, which is gonna be better for that seat, just a little bit stronger. Overall, this whole thing's built kind of chintzy. But what I'm seeing here is these holes, I mean, that one looked good, but these are just slightly off. I'm just wondering, I think I can fine tune it right there. So I think I'll be all right. Otherwise, everything else landed perfectly. I mean, that's right in the center where it's supposed to be. These holes, I just gotta adjust that fender. Tell you what, I will chalk that up as a win. Now that that's somewhat mocked up, I can put the seat on there and see how it's gonna fit. So part of it is gonna sit on the fender itself, which I don't have a choice. They don't give you a whole lot of freaking room in this thing. All right, you gotta admit, that looks pretty awesome. The old seat was an absolute piece of crap. That thing looks comfy, and I'm about to sit in it. You can see one of the brackets is gonna sit on the fender. The other one will be on that new pan. That's just kind of the way it is. I'll probably have to throw some washers to act as spacers because of that little overlap on that new piece. And then all of our controls right here. That little rectangle right there is for the e-brake. I want to move it as close to center as I can, but you can see it's still off center. But I can't go any further, otherwise I'm on top of that e-brake. It's just not really the greatest design and layout. I've been looking forward to this moment. It's not half bad. The shifter is in a really comfortable spot. The dump is too. Actually, I think the brake's gonna be a good spot. I mean, I think it feels pretty good. Let's keep going. All right, I'm gonna work on the fitment with those two fenders and that new piece that I just fabbed up, and then I'll go ahead and get that seat mounted, just so I have everything mocked up, because I need to get that middle piece I just made painted. And a quarter. Oh, yeah, this is the way it should be. What I might do is trim this down. And you know, all the other levers are short, so why not this one? I may need to drop it down. And I should get a cool shifter knob for this, or make one. You guys always have really good ideas. What should I do for the shifter knob? The rubber's kind of breaking on this thing. It's a good opportunity to do something cool right here. Plus right now it's kind of shaped like a peanut. Not a big fan of that. I'm still just inside of the machine. Machine. All right, I'm gonna mark this thing out and get it temporarily bolted down. Once I know where those holes are at, then I can add all the bracing on this new centerpiece. Quick little update for all you guys. I had a lot of people asking about my old plasma table. I would consider this sold. This is going to another YouTube channel. You guys will be finding out who that is very soon. Right now, I am currently working on some wiring for a laser system. This magnetic breakaway torch holder here, this was sent to me by Beck Tools. Beck Tools is out of Indiana, and that's where I'm at too. So I like supporting Indiana companies. This is a magnetic breakaway mount. He mills all these himself. Very nice quality. And then check this out. Flip this switch and gives us a crosshair. And everything that you need comes in the kit. I will have links for this down in the description. Another thing, a lot of people told me on the Ultimate Welding Cart when I built this, they're like, you should have made the tabletop bigger, you should have made it thicker. Now, you can make this however you want. I made this obviously for myself, but this was more intended to be kind of like a workstation to set stuff and tools and keep it off of the fab area. Not that I won't weld something up on this from time to time, but this is kind of more what it was intended for. Otherwise, this center plate here is coming around really nice. I've got all of the nuts welded on the back side there, which will make everything really easy to bolt up. And I added all of the support bracing on the back side there, or the underside. All I used was some 1x1 square tube. I believe it is 14 gauge. Yeah, looks like 14 gauge. Give you a little comparison. So I am 95% done with this new piece. And at the moment, I probably have 3.5 hours into it or so. Really not bad, considering I have a brand new piece, no rust, and made in America. All right, so you can see the similarities here. They've got some little chintzy angle supports there. I used some square tube because frankly, that's what I had. I just threw some stitch welds in there. I was trying to keep the heat off this as much as possible because I didn't want it to warp on me. Everything stayed nice and straight, so really happy with the way it turned out. There's only one thing I'm missing on this, and that is this little piece right here. You can see the parking brake cable comes through. It bolts together right here. So I just need to make something for this to bolt to. Should be pretty easy. So I'm gonna jump back on Flash Cut, design a couple of these pieces and some other pieces that we're gonna use for the throttle pedal. We'll look at that here in just a little bit, and we'll get them cut on the boss table on my new baby. Machine. Well, that is it for this new piece here. Now that it's all completely done, I've got roughly about 4 hours into making this. So I'm gonna get this thing all cleaned up, any kind of welding spatter, I'm gonna get that knocked off, and I'm gonna get it primed. I'll do that off camera. And I think what I'm gonna do is spray like an undercoating underneath here that you would spray like on the frame of your truck or something. And then I'll paint the top side that tan color that's on the two fenders there. I've made a pretty significant observation. I know that sounds scary. I've never had a professional level plasma table before, and here's one huge difference that I noticed. On my old table, I would make all my designs on Fusion on my laptop in the house. Sometimes I would do it out here, and then I would bring my laptop out, hook it up to the table, make my cuts, and that's how I did it. So when I had to make a cut, I really had to plan it. Otherwise, I'm going back and forth. I like leaving my laptop hooked up in the house because I use it for all the business stuff, all my editing. So I like to keep it there. Now that I have the Boss table, and this doesn't just go for Boss tables. This is any, more professional, commercial grade, industrial grade plasma table. You have a designated computer for it. With this setup, I have a permanent desktop computer out here, whether I'm using it on the table, if I just want to get on the internet, look up parts, order shit. But what's nice is my day-to-day stuff when I'm doing a project like the spicy dump, if I need a little piece cut, I could just come over here, design it real quick in Flash Cut, make the cut, and keep working. It's super efficient versus going inside, designing it, bringing the computer out. It was just a lot more extra steps. It doesn't mean that you can't set it up with a permanent computer with the old table. You could definitely do that. Whatever. Who really gives a shit? That freaking furnace filter is already filthy. I replaced it 2 days ago. I gotta figure out a different system because that is just not cutting it. Come on already. Bingo. It is time to mess around with the throttle pedal, gas pedal, whatever the hell you want to call it. I've got the ultimate welding cart rolled over here. Makes it very convenient for welding on miscellaneous projects. If you didn't see that series, it's a good one. So here is what I got. This is the old foot pedal. Well, we're gonna still use this. Looks like about 1/8 inch diamond plate. It's got a little piece welded on the back here where the throttle linkage goes through. It's kind of like a spring return. And then someone welded a freaking door hinge or something onto this thing. Looks like absolute dookie. The welds look awesome though. Pretty sure Adam from Hometown Acres welded this. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this off and do something a little bit different. So here is where it used to mount to. This little hole right here goes through to the actual linkage, and that is spring loaded. So it used to bolt just like that. So I'm gonna take these two little triangular pieces that I cut on the Boss table. I'm going to weld them something like that. And then I'm gonna trim this piece of galvanized tube down, something like that, and it's just gonna pivot on it. Seems like a good idea. We'll see if it actually works.
Hood's going right in the trash.
I like the Arc Captain welders. This hood from Arc Captain kind of sucks. It was good at first, but now the auto darkening won't freaking work. My whole weld. Looks like boogers. Damn it. I got my little brackets welded on. They look like my welding hood kept acting up. For some reason, the auto darkening was coming in and out, so I couldn't see the weld. I can't do a continuous weld on that floor pan because the metal is just too thin. So once this dries, I'll come back and sand it down a little bit. Part of the problem is I'm trying to rush this. A lot of people want to see this content. I really don't have time to be working on it right now, but I do want to get this thing up and running because I could use it on the property. So as much as I would love to spend more time on it and really make it perfect, at some point I just need to get it done. It's only cosmetic stuff. Like the paint job, I can come back, tune some things up. There's probably a good chance I'm gonna be doing a lot more modifying to this thing. A lot of this paint might be getting sanded off anyway. So the next step is to install the throttle cable to the engine. And what I have is a new throttle cable because the old one was broke. This is as close of a match as I could find to the old one, except it's a totally different motor. But you can see right here is the throttle. That is low throttle right there. And then high throttle. And you can see it's pretty stiff to move. You can see there's a little nut right there, and you can see there's a little cable clamp right here. So it is designed to install a throttle cable on there. And it looks like there's some kind of a compression style nut, which is creating all that tension when you move this. So I'm gonna mess around with this and see if I can get that throttle cable set up right here. Once I get that connected, then I can just route it across and attach it to the throttle pedal. It shouldn't be that hard. Probably a 10 millimeter, because everything is. There was a freaking pterodactyl flying around in here earlier. Some kind of like a mud bogger wasp or something. I don't know where it went, but I have a feeling it's watching me right now, just waiting to sting the shit out of me. Oh yeah, that was it. Oh, look what got looser. That's all we needed. You dirty girl. 4:08. It's about dinner time. We usually eat at 4:30-ish. I know that's early. I see what's going on there. So this new throttle cable has this little hammerhead looking thing on the end. I think I'm gonna have to cut that off, which shouldn't be a big deal. Shouldn't be, but it might be. I know that thing's watching me. Moment of no return. Oh, there's another. What the hell is that for? Wait a minute. Oh, there's two setups. You can come at it from either angle. Wasn't that convenient? Really? Let's see. Need to put that on that. And that right there. Of course it didn't come with a freaking pan. Piece of crap. Oh, yes I do. I do have it. Oh, I had the pin. She's a little sloppy, but I think I can just tighten up the throttle cable and I'll be good. If this fails, I'm a dead man. All right, so I'm gonna push on the throttle. You should see that lever right there move. Okay, so I think right now we have a throttle pedal. I'm gonna get all this throttle cable and linkage dialed in, and all that's left to do is just wait for paint to dry. So first thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna put this thing all back together, and hopefully we could fire it up and drive it. Could be a huge disaster. Who gives a shit? The answer to that is me. Come on. Hey, Dozer, come here, boy. Come. Hey, come. Good boy. There's my good boy. I know you're gonna get bored quick, I know. Finally, I know this is a little bit longer of a video, but I want to capture as much of this build as I can. Let's get started. Got the undercoating on the bottom. Hopefully that protects it from rusting. All I have left to do is install the emergency brake. I had to put a little bit more paint on it. I missed a spot. One more access panel, and then it is finally time to fire this thing up and see if it drives. The time has come. I'm actually a little nervous, but we're finally there. This is just gonna be a quick little test. I'm not gonna leave you with any more cliffhangers. I know this video is long. We'll do more testing in the next one. Neutral, neutral. Oh boy. I guess that is a little dangerous. Looks pretty good though. Alright. Let's try out the dump. Throttle works. Oh that's okay because I can grease that now. There we go. Show you the underside real quick while the engine warms up. See this little pivoting system, it pivots this way as well as that way. You got a brake on the drive shaft there. Hydraulic cylinders all the way in the back there, but it all looks pretty solid still. Looks like there's a little safety stand I can put in, so I can lock it in the up position. See if this thing drives. Oh my god. What? Oh god. The clutch doesn't do shit. Alright, well. What? Why did it just die? Well, we got our first problem. Something is going on with that tensioner. You can see it's cocked. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I didn't tighten it. All right, I got that fixed. I think I actually forgot to tighten that, but I made some adjustments here on some of these other things, so it should be good. You gotta really slam it in gear. Ah, damn it! The power steering looks awesome. It's like effortless. I just can't get the clutch. Son of a... I can't get it to not spin. Another problem. So the problem is, even though I press the clutch in and that tensioner releases tension, it still has enough grip on that pulley that it continues to spin. So I'm basically trying to put it in gear while it's spinning, and it just, you could hear it grinding obviously. And if I slam it into gear, it freaking kills the motor. I just think this whole belt system, it's kind of a setup. Here's what you guys don't know. I have started and stopped this video 3 times now because I've had issues with the machine, but I think I finally got it figured out. I was just able to drive it, so let's check it out. Let me just show you how I resolved this, because I already ended this video and I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So what I did was I made an adjustment on these little pulley guides. I don't know what you would call these. So what I did was the bottom one underneath this tensioner, when you lift it, you can see it presses up and it compresses against this one, and it actually allows it to stop spinning enough to where I could put this thing into gear and it doesn't kill the engine. So let's fire it up and let's try this one more time. Whew. It's gonna be like a 2-hour video. All right, baby. Oh, I've got like no gas in here. That's the freaking problem. I think that might be the problem. I'm out of gas. Okay. Try that again. There we go, baby. Oh, you son of a bitch. Well, this is gonna slow down production in the yard. Alright, they're stuck it. We're f***ing hauling ass right now. They're freaking flying. Alright, I've adjusted the camera. I don't want to be getting on and off and moving the camera a whole bunch. Eventually I'll get my little camera girl out here for the next video. It's kind of hard to get started, so I'm going to do a little ripping around out there. Oh, you son of a... You really got to give it gas. Freaking flying out here. Well, it drives nice. The drive system sucks. It's horrible. This thing's gonna take a lot of testing, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. All right, next video, I'm gonna be finishing up the shifter boot for this. We're gonna make this out of leather, do some engraving on it. We're gonna be pulling these old tires and wheels off, splitting the wheels. I'm gonna paint them, put new tubes in them, wait for that semi to go by, and then I've got brand new tires for that. Gonna hopefully get the steering wheel off and get a new one on, and we can start taking a look at the back half of the spicy dump and just kind of get a game plan. We'll probably do a lot more testing in that video as well. We're just running out of time here. So that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see this project progress, make sure you subscribe, and please like the video. I put a lot of time and effort into these. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. I know the anticipation is killing you, Dozer, but I gotta take a leak. I can't wait to drive this thing. I just need to work on it.
Am I an idiot right now? Why can't I get this to work?
Freaking dummy. I mean, I'm familiar with this length right here. What can I say?